Oh no, wait, I'm not ready. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm never ready. I will never be ready for the end. Okay, rhymes. When we went through Nash. To the man, but he shut himself in. I think the fourth statement is a bit weird.
Okay.
Suppressing the fourth statement.
Hold it!
Hold it. Yes. When the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. That was Mr. Winterbank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Creighton, that bullet was fired at you! But... no. It wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Winterbank's gun grazed my arm. And yes, the Skulkin's gun grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely. Third gun.
Broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had been a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time.
Objection!
Objection. But no other gun was found at the scene. Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry? You must consider the events in order. At first, I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then, all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at that moment that the little gutter rat shot him in the back.
Chilling image, I must say.
I mean, we're gonna have to press statement 5 about the blood. Yeah, let's press statement 5 about the blood. The next statement. All over her. Yes, through the peephole I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, or with the coat being such a dark colour. But I assure you, that garment is solid with the victim's blood. Well, it is solid with blood, that's for sure. Yikes. But it's not Mr. Winterbank's blood, is it? No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when the Gilded stabbed him 2 months ago. It's so annoying! If they'd only accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that! But they won't. So unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support our case. Bother. Right. Well, let's press. What were you gonna say?
I mean, let's just press the whole thing. I say.
Yeah,
from the start.
That's what just what I was gonna suggest as well. Mr. Winterbank emerged from the storeroom, I believe. Ringo and Nash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close.
Oh, I've never been so scared in all my life.
Yeah, we're just regular, mild-mannered burglars, that's all. We don't like violence. Says the pair who carry a gun. What do you mean when you say you were... Oh, sorry. What do you mean when you say you were near the entrance to the shop? I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves of forfeited items. Looking for the music box, of course. The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1. So I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong. I was trying to help my little bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter.
Wait, he's the little brother?
Apparently.
Imagine being the big brother and being shorter.
But not like slightly shorter, like a lot shorter. No.
So I pulled my gun on the old fella, and that suit made him scupper. The pair of you, I forgot I was the judge for a second. The pair of you settling on the poor defenseless pawnbroker together. Shame on you.
Sorry, Gov.
Sorry, Gov.
Alright. Let's press number 2.
Hold it!
You mean that's the moment he was shot? Yes. Though I didn't immediately realise what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the 3 men were brawling.
Apparently that's actually kind of true. Like, I've heard stories online where it's like people have been shot or stabbed, and apparently you don't even realize it at first, most times.
Yeah, it's like...
Or at least the situation is like seriously intense or something.
Yeah, I think it's like, unless you see it, you don't really notice it, the pain. But when you look at it, you're like, oh my god, that really hurts. Because I've had moments where I've like cut myself accidentally, and it didn't hurt, and then I look at it later and realise that I've cut myself earlier, and I'm like, ouch, where did I cut myself? Yeah, it's about. I think it's about how you see it as well. So it was exactly that moment that had happened. So I didn't hear the gunshot, and a bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind him. So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly. So I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, I had no choice. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. I mean, woo! Does anybody else see stars?
You are probably very infected at this very moment.
Yeah! Like, 2 days and you haven't looked at it, you haven't healed it yet? Yikes.
You haven't put anesthetic on it? Anything?
Yeah, that's not good.
We don't even need to put the death penalty on you.
You'll die from your injuries soon enough.
Did Mr. Winterbank intend to shoot you think?
Well now. I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home.
When I pulled my gun on him, he tried to shove me out of the way.
And then he scarpered through that door out back.
I wish I had your guys' fruits. They instantly just, like, materialize back what you ate.
They're like,
I'd love that for an apple.
that would be nice. Oh, that would be nice.
At which point, what did you do?
Yeah, imagine if you ate something. It's like his fish and chips. You just eat it and then it appears again. Oh.
That would be good, though.
Okay, let's press statement 3.
Hold it!
Hold it. You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. What about this peephole in the door you mentioned?
Surprisingly, the storeroom's door is a solid job, made of stout wood. Although the small opening for it in about head's height, it lets you see what was in there from the outside.
Actually, I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night.
And what about your burgling brothers? Did they see did you see what went on through this peephole as well? Not likely, Gov.
Didn't she not to the short, Gov?
And he's too short to even see through it anyway, so...
Well, that's true, actually. That is true. Yeah. I doubt these two buffoons were even aware of the people's existence. So the Skulkin brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Winterbank take place. Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there.
The defendants?
Yes, though neither of them noticed that I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man.
And then, what did you see next?
Oh.
Oh.
My lord. We're requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt a cross-examination. Oh, wow, okay.
Explain yourself, officer.
Ooh. I have the results of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord.
The blood on the accursed overcoats. Accused.
Pretty much the same thing.
Pretty much. I curse anyone who looks at me. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended.
Oh.
I presume you have no objection, counsel?
No, my lord. No.
Well, there you have it. The reports, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Mr. Gino Lestrade. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of splattering involving a gunshot wound. End of report. Well, that's just kind of completely convenient, considering it was a stab wound that caused it.
Wait, that is
Actually,
true.
That doesn't really make sense. Why would... How? If you get shot with a gun, it's not going to splatter on you, it's going to splatter backwards, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like if you shot someone, it wouldn't... Yeah, it would splatter behind them. So that would only work if he was shot from the front by someone else, not by her.
I have no idea.
Goodness me!
See? What did I tell you?
Objection!
No. The blood on that coat is not Mr. Winterbank's.
And what on earth makes you say that, counsel?
The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Winterbank's, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on that overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend?
Sorry?
2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGilded's innocence? And yet, now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer.
Yikes.
Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country.
But that was...
I call it a bally disgrace. Treachery. That's what it is. I'm not doing the right voice. I call it a bally disgrace. There we go. Now I'm here. Treachery is what it is.
How to determine whether the blood on that coat... I've no idea what his voice was. How to determine whether the blood on that coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help the answer to that problem pop out. It can't be done. But we've used Mr. Sholmes' specially formulated chemical.
Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist.
Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? I mean, that is true.
I held on Broski, the starving boy. He ran away crying.
Thank you for your input.
Thanks. Juror number 6. Thank you.
Sherlock Sholmes is barely more of a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all.
How could you say that? Victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish.
How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir?
As the witness said, the accused's coat was splattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid, and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth.
My lord? Oh.
Oh,
Been a long battle, this one. But this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please.
Mr. Foreman?
As of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final conclusion. Ready, men? All for one now.
Sir. Whatever.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty? What? Wait, that was quick. Weren't like
Come on,
5
man.
of them on innocent?
Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury has reached a unanimous verdict.
Oh my god, of course they have. Well, I guess it is pretty damning, but we're just gonna have to figure out how the hell it fits.
I know. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make at unpicking the juror's decision being equally successful.
Oh. I don't believe it. After I've come so far, how is it all unraveling on me so fast?
How very distressing to be held in such low esteem. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruto?
Oh.
Officer? You delivered the report now. That will be all. Thank you.
It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruto, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind.
I know that voice. Am I going mad? Oh my god. Perfect. Mr. Sholmes!
What is the meaning of this?
Oh my god.
Order! Order!
What business do you have here, detective? Last I heard, you were recuperating in the hospital. As well I would be, had I not been sent upon an errand.
What's errand?
Hurley! It's really you! You're awake at last! My voice is slightly
Yes.
changed!
Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be making a rather late rise to my... I haven't done this voice in a while. I appear to be in rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, will you humor me? In what matter, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Van Zeeks?
This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already.
Exactly. Haven't spent so long already. We don't want to go wasting any more people's precious time.
As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes.
Very well then. Counsel, you have 5 minutes, and 5 minutes exactly.
Oh god. Hey!
Hey, how would you change outfits so quickly? Did you change like when you were like literally on your way stepping over here?
Yeah.
Stripped of your clothes? And
You're just like...
My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival.
Mr. Sholmes! Are you alright now?
Alright, I'm all wrong.
Oh, you. Sorry? What?
I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me should I, pass out.
Maybe don't do all those moves. Let's make this discussion as short as possible then. Hurley, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is.
Ah, well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to amiss my investigations. Did I say the right word? I don't care. I never took the time. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. Oversight on my part.
Right. Oh, oops. Right. Modesty? Surely not.
But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow.
Oh, what is this like a bento box? What's that? A lavender fur sticky wrapping?
A leaving present from Miss Susato.
From Miss Susato?
If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her a favor.
I don't understand.
Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhanded. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the lady's dear instructions.
A leaving present from Susato-san. Whatever could it be? What the hell is this? Oh! It's the machine I made! Oh.
Yeah, this was right at the start of the case.
Oh. Wagaha!
Wagalo! We're bringing it back!
We're bringing it back, guys! We're bringing it back! Look! I used this! It's my latest invention. What? What the hell is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. It can make a cat flap for a little fairy friend like Waggy in seconds. Oh. What's Susie up to? Uh-oh. Maybe a technical error? Uh-oh.
Hey, hello?
Oh, hello, hello.
Okay, okay, there we are.
Alright, perfect. I just did the, where Iris says,
Oh, okay.
like, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to?
Miss Susato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant.
What? Didn't she say something like that? You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Wow, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Shones? Did she use that on the fucking door to get that manuscript? No way. If she did that, okay, let's just continue, but I think that's what I think. Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Shones?
That night, when you left Winterbanks in pursuit of thieves, Miss Susato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, my dear fellow.
Not at all cryptic then. Susato-san used this cat flapper mat that night? But why? To get that goddamn manuscript? Right. It entered into the court record.
Your 5 minutes is over.
Oh, we're out of time already?
I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous with their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider the summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo!
Yes?
The rest is down to you, my dear fellow. What is your plan?
The rest is down to me? Well, I thought I knew that. I mean, I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. Okay, let's save in that case. It's like, if I make a wrong move, we're totally screwed.
Okay, so...
Right. So, if I think... I don't know.
So,
but I think it'll
think
be...
about this.
I'm
not going to give you the answer.
No, don't. But I think it's gonna have to do with like one of the doors. I probably think it's gonna have to do with the door the door into the storeroom, I think. But let's find out. My lord, the defense requests... Oh, shit. Oh my god. Well, I can't... Okay. What was the summation examination? I was like comparing what everyone says and then
Yes.
put them against each other.
Yes.
Further cross-examination. I don't think it's going to be time to think. I think they'll be like, you've had enough time. I mean, I'm just looking at the court record again. I might look at that cat flapper map, actually. Yeah, let's look at that cat flapper map, and let's look at the side with the icon on, the flower. Cause it just, oh, well, whatever. I just looked at that. Woo! Woo! God, those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all. And what are the two parts at the top? Oh, those are for attaching hinges to the section of door that gets cut out. Right, of course. Nothing can match this machine for power. Oh my god. Wait, it commits me to even the toughest doors. Wait. It sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it's for. But it feels like the reality of the cat flap mat is that it's a grim weapon of door destruction. Wagaha! So adorable. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Even developing deadly weapons. Right, okay. Wait, I want to look really quickly at their security pictures. Okay. It is that bit. Oh my god. Right.
And you know what? These pictures were pretty much ended right at the start of the trial.
They
They
were.
put that in front of you the entire time.
Oh my god, but obviously you don't look over there because you think, oh well, it's definitely there, you know. You think, well, why would there not be that? Oh my god. Right, but then I don't know. Okay.
Okay,
So, I feel.
so what are you thinking now?
I feel like it's the further cross-examination because then we can be like, well, actually, that thing didn't exist until later on. It didn't exist at 1 o'clock, so it couldn't have existed when he said
You
that.
wanna?
I'm gonna. Let's choose it. Let's choose further cross-examination. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
We can finish this. We can finish this.
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection!
The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue with one of an existing witness.
What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper.
What? Oh, my lord.
Well, technically this is him, but you can do
Yeah.
it.
Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination.
Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended.
Ooh.
I presume you have no objection, counsel?
No, my lord. So nobody can say anything then? If Bruno asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon...
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd. I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to allow the defense one final opportunity in concluding this cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness's testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support.
Oh, okay. A single chance to present evidence?
If, following that, the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press this witness any further. My lord.
Yes, my lord.
A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell in a dead fate. I leave this in your capable hands.
Oh my god. Mr. Sholmes? I love how even when he faints, he does it wildly.
He's the eccentric one, alright. To stand so I am learning so much new grammar in this trial.
Insouciantly?
To stand so insouciantly before the court in this state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind, or an extraordinary lack of feeling.
Or both.
I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in the antechambers.
Strike a man when he's down, why don't you?
Well then, counsels, are you fully prepared?
Yes. One statement and one piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down. Or Iris. And I won't waste this final chance that Susato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial.
Very well. Under the terms I have outlined, you may resume this cross-examination.
Cross-examination. I'm actually just going to save immediately.
Okay.
The moment of the shooting again.
Man, I still know we have a lot of dialogue to do after this, but like, I want to say we could finish it. I really do.
I mean, I've not got any plans for the rest of the night, so we could potentially be able to finish it. Potentially. I mean, because with Ace Attorney games, they always have a lot more dialogue than you think there will be. Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
We're chest deep in this now. We might as well.
Right. Well, it must be.
Well, wait. Let's read through this all again, just like for dramatic purpose.
Okay. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Winterbank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the store. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. I saw the blood spatter all over that wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape.
Alright, well, we now know that something is clearly wrong here.
His lordship is only going to allow me to present one piece of evidence. but it's clear what the piece of evidence should be. How in the world did Susie manage to sneak off with this without me noticing? And she used it in the pawnbrokery? Yes, at least that's what Mr. Sholmes said. I was only gone from the place for about 5 minutes when I went after the Skulking brothers. What possible reason could Susato-san have had to use this Iris' contraption in that time? Could it be that what she did with the cat flapper mat completely changes one of the key premises this testimony is based on? I think it'll be the first thing about seeing through the people.
Right.
That's the earliest one. In theory, it could be any of the statements about the peephole. It could be the fact that she threw it through the peephole, but I think this is the best one because it's the earliest one. And there was literally zero way. So I'm going to also present the photograph of Gina at 1 AM.
Objection!
Okay.
Let's just... No, that was not it. Huh.
Ooh.
Really?
I will say this one's a bit tricky.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, okay. Maybe it has to be the gun, then, because there's no way... Right. Because even... He could potentially have seen... Oh, but then how would he shoot through the door? That's true, because our whole argument is that someone shot them through the peephole. Okay, yeah. So let's just say that he potentially he could have seen it happen through the keyhole. Potentially. But
I'm going to say you're thinking a bit too much on this.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, in that case, let's try that. I could see him through the people on the door again, but use the cat flapper mat. Present that instead.
Okay.
Objection!
Oh, right. That does work.
Yep. And I will say, you weren't wrong in thinking that any of the statements with the people would have worked.
Oh, okay. But we just had to present this specific piece of evidence.
Yes.
Ah, I see.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Counsel?
Ooh, it's my cat flapper mat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please, without their owners having to open the main door. I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves. That cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there's no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door.
Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I failed to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way, then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine, in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon? A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Winterbank had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes.
Yes, the 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door, I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself, in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake? Yes. How could you? What?
So kindly say what you mean.
Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. What? No!
Objection!
This is a farce. Are you seriously suggesting that people on the door was...
Yes. It was created only after the incident had taken place, by my judicial assistant, using this device.
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions? This is a most serious act of vandalism!
For which I humbly apologise, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulking brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes.
Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel!
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to see. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies.
Order! 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 Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
Objection.
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly. This is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors. That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second. I had a feeling you'd say that. What? Wacky! Cooey! Time for dinner! Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How cute. Well...
Young lady! This is the Old Bailey! That does not make a cat flaps in the old paneling at the Old Bailey!
I'm not done yet, don't worry. This doesn't mean that the people in the storm toward Winterbanks was made by your machine. And there's no way you can prove that it was.
Oh, can we not?
No, but it's easy. What? The cat flaps my cat flapper mat creates are all of a fixed size, and the dimensions of the people at Winterbanks are an exact match. Hehe. Oh, Silky's lost for words. Excellent work, Iris. Thank you.
And now it's my learned student's friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel.
Why do you say that? Uh-oh.
I believe your judicial assistant already left the country for your Eastern Island home.
Well, yes. It's true.
Then you have some difficulty in establishing all the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the peephole has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zieks? It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident, using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify that fact. There is no proof. And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
A baseless accusation? A baseless accusation.
I think we accused based.
Yes, I think it's a based accusation.
Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zieks. Well, counsel?
Oh, I thought you said, like, indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zieks.
It is very based.
Oh, don't give up now, Bruno. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through. That is... Maybe don't take that out of context. I don't know if I can do this. But I do know one thing. Suzuda-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world.
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim. Proof that the peephole in the door of Winterbank's storeroom was created after the incident, not before.
Well, it's going to be that picture where there's no peephole. Before the murder.
Yes.
Yeah, that's boom.
Take that!
Take that!
What are you? A prince from that detective's infernal cameras? Again?
My judicial assistant, Miss Susato Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof? Excuse me. Is this photographic print, counsel?
This print shows This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises.
Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielding a gun in the direction of the defense's broker.
But more to the point. It pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom. It's completely devoid of a peephole.
Ugh. Mr. Graydon. Ugh. You couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. Ugh. In other words, your testimony is a catalogue of lies. Ah! Gosh.
Okay, go off. Too bad you didn't go to America's Can Dance. That's not a real show. Order! Order! I am satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony is entirely fallacious. That's not the only thing we know now, beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene.
Oh.
But more importantly... Good lord, there's more, Lord Van Zeeks. The defense may have established a reprehensible assistance of perjury. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer.
Yes, that's right. What? I was there at the scene. It's true. I was shot in the arm. It's true. But that's all. Yes. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here.
Oh,
please.
God.
No! I don't believe this.
You're performing him, like, amazingly, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very humbled. Thank you. That really does mean a lot. But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he's the culprit. Oh, still, we can't worm his way out of it now. Iris, you know what they say? Wagga hi!
Shut up! Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
Get out of my head! Well, look. I mean, there's no point locking the cat's door.
God, this is. It's like the stupid Among Us. Just get out of my head, please.
Just get out of my head. Get out of my head. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Isn't that right, Rudo?
I don't see how that's relevant.
As Hurley always says, wagga hi. Oh god. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
No. Okay. One lie begets another. No, wait, that might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Just make no sense. What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
What?
Effective talk, Counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency.
Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about. Namely... well, not the people, because he didn't know about that.
We've proven that, yeah.
The third gun... I mean,
it's kind of either of these.
like... But he could have had... that's true. Yeah, it could have been... It could be either. Wait, okay, let's just take a look at our court record really quick. Because we know that it did have blood on it. And he said he had the third gun, right?
Yes. I think.
Yeah, he said that she shot him with that gun and then he took it? No. Or was that...
No, he's saying that he's saying that she brought her own gun and then shot him with it and then tossed it through the peephole.
Oh. But then I think it's the bloodstains, because how would he have known anything about the bloodstains if he didn't see her at all? He would never have been
If it's
able...
not that, it's the gun.
Yeah, it's got to be one of those two. I'm just gonna save. Yeah, let's just save. Just to be absolutely certain and sure that we're gonna be fine. Right. I'm gonna go for the bloodstains. The bloodstains that were present on Mr. Strahd's coat. That's right. The victim's blood splattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it to the people in the... The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. Alright? It's going to be simple. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew the existence of the people in the storeroom door? Oh. What? Well, obviously oh. Oh, right, I didn't even think of that. Because he didn't actually use the peephole. He left before the peephole was made.
It's true.
Oh my
Cat's
god.
got your tongue, witness.
I'm sorry, I just completely didn't even realise that.
I didn't either.
Oh my god.
This case is amazing.
This is like possibly my second favourite case ever. After the first one of Ace Attorney, Apollo Justice. After that, tell about Trump, is it?
Yes, it is.
Like, that's my favourite one. This is probably my second favourite one because it's just got so many twists and it's like it's like it was in the picture all along. They haven't changed that picture. It's been there all case and we just haven't noticed or even thought about it.
And they made a bold decision putting that right in front of your face at the start.
Yeah. Oh my god. But you would just assume that the people was already there, wouldn't you? You would never think that it wasn't there. The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Winterbanks constantly, carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of sort of Holland articles, and my lads have to thoroughly examine it all. So I gave the order to have the officers working around the clock, in shifts, so we get through it all.
And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the peephole in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
The fact remains, Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the peephole in that door. How on earth is that possible? Couldn't I have the workplace, Lord Van Zakes? Speak, Inspector. It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report.
Right.
There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same with you... Permission denied. Oh.
Oh.
It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes. Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications.
Yes. But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have... Clue? There's really only one person that could be.
Who is the person in question, Counsel? Who gave this witness details to the crime scene to felicitate his false testimony?
Well, it must be Gregson. Must be. Because... Right? He's the only one, like... Must be Gregson. Because he's acting super fucking suspicious. He'd be the one who I would choose.
Go for it.
Fuck it, let's go for Gregson. The truth is, it can only have been you. Inspector Gregson!
One sec, gotta send a text. I'm sorry to break the pace a bit.
Gregson, are you sending a text?
Hold on one sec. I just got a text my boo that I'm probably gonna be tried for perjury. Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend.
I have absolutely no proof. Consider the fact that we've only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today. Right?
Indeed. Preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our long-hour recess. While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man from the communications station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that they would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such time he was summoned,
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder.
you're suggesting the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received that information? So that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin?
Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a fluent outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigations with this fella, huh?
That is true. Why would he do that?
I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Have you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the Pawnbrokery. Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed, following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view of the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't have possibly occurred.
Ooh, I've just remembered something, Runo. What is it, Iris? There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying. Oh yeah, now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve McGilded's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it. It was during that testimony. Oh, right. I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would have been possible for It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
You little toe rag, you're making all this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense.
What's the deal, Capsule?
I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector.
I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that, if found to be true, striking a deal with any kind of witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance. Well,
Objection!
man, we are just having a whole load of crimes unveiled in today's...
Oh my God. Yeah, like everything's happening.
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's specialty.
I don't do that.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim.
Evidence?
Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of this witness in return? The court must seek proof of this alleged deal.
If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Grady, then logically there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it. Bruno, do you think it could be? Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
Then I must press you for an answer now, Counsel. What evidence explains the nature of this alleged deal?
Well, it'd probably be the disc. Right? Either the disc or the newspaper. But I'm hoping it's one of those ones where it can be both. I'm just going to save, and then I'm going to go for the disc.
What's your gut saying first?
Disc.
Because you're doing incredible with guessing. I mean, the cat flap on that you stumbled on a tiny bit, but you've been incredible in this case so far.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, you've been incredible as well. But I mean, no, you've played this before, but you've been incredible in like in everything.
Not giving
Yeah.
the details.
And not making it too easy. Not being like, oh well, it's definitely this. Like, not even giving me hints. Right, I think my gut is saying this bloody disc, because he'll be like, well, listen, if you give me your disc, I'll tell you about the peephole. So you give me your disc that you've definitely got on you right now. So disc.
Take that!
Take
In that
that!
case,
Inspector Gregson. Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
what are you getting at? What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
Is it possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here?
I think it was another dual thing.
Oh, good.
So you probably were right either way.
Oof. The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bloody nor could you?
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Winterbanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in Mr. McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case.
You little... Order! Order!
On the day of the incident, when we met you at Winterbanks, you said this.
I'll be taking whatever it is a bit gilded down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, don't! Don't give it to him! It's mine, that is mine!
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at that time. Isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets.
My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume.
Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Why, not likely. I mean, I wasn't sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all.
Uh-huh.
Inspector, surely you're not saying this in order to acquire the second of these music box discs. You did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene? To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony!
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. No!
Objection!
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be found in truth, it would mean the second disc is as we speak, here in this very courtroom.
Oh my god. Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that?
Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective.
What?
Oh, what's that supposed to mean, eh? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution.
Well, yeah, because he's not stupid, is he? Wouldn't have just been like, yeah, right.
I mean, he acts it, but
Well, yeah. But, you know.
Certainly, he would not have accepted this gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Good gracious! You mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question? He has the second disc actually on his person!
Yes!
Yes! The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once. Definitely! They could only have struck a deal with each other when Jenny was testifying before. And Gregsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since. My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector, this young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me in my profession quite enough.
Oh,
However, if to put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search.
what? He's going to agree to it.
I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You've made most serious accusation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service, and this trial will end. And my country's government will formally demand yours that you are severely reprimanded.
Oh my god. That sounds serious.
Indeed.
Uh-oh. Oh god, what's going on? Right, I don't know what's... Oh?
Oh.
What's happening?
Hello?
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 Hello? Can you hear me?
Am I here?
Yes? You're here?
I can hear you.
Alright, good.
Okay.
Looks like my stream just glitched a little bit, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stop and start it again, just to be safe.
Okay.